Hey everyone, this is Darkener, and I'm going to go through some of the priest changes in the public test realm. This is build 16486 for patch 5.2. Angelic Feather was changed to increase the duration of the movement speed increase to 6 seconds. And in terms of a quality of life improvement, that's a major improvement for Angelic Feather. Body and soul was reduced by 1 second, so now it's 3 seconds. I don't really think this needed to be reduced. I think they could have just left this at 4 seconds and increased this one to 6 seconds, and you would still have, a very good choice of whether you want free speed boost that requires you to target the ground, or a speed boost that costs mana that's tied into Power Word Shield. So, but I actually really like using Angelic Feather. It doesn't cost anything and has a 10-second recharge and has 3 charges. So with the 6 seconds, it's a little bit noticeable. So as soon as it wears off, you can reapply it. You've got a 60% speed boost. As soon as it wears off, reapply it again. Now before, with the 4-second duration, I could do this 4 times before I started running out of charges, and it's pretty much now, it's either 5 or 6 charges. Yeah, because it's coming off cooldown now, it's at least 6 charges. So 6 times 36 seconds with like a little bit of a cooldown in between, but it's pretty interesting now. And if you take Angelic Feather and combine that with Spectral Guise, it's much nicer now because you have a 6-second speed boost where you can use Spectral Guise to try and get away from someone. So how you would have to do that is you have to apply the feather before you Spectral Guise, because if you are stealthed and you run through a feather, the feather unstealths you. So you have to make sure when you do this that you apply the feather first and then activate your Spectral Guise. So I will speed boost and then Spectral Guise. See there, I'm speed boosted. You can see me back there. There, and Spectral Guise wore off. So once this runs down, I can show you if you put the feather down first, Spectral Guise, and then try and run through a feather, I'm pretty sure it will de-stealth you, which is kind of lame. So I'll put a feather down there. The nice thing about these feathers are you can place them ahead of time, and people can run through them for a speed boost. And I've been using this more in raids, and it's really really beneficial. And as your raid team gets used to having them, they're not just running through them as a vanity item, they're actually using them to help win encounters. So alright, I'm going to Spectral Guise and then run through this feather. Oh, it kept me cloaked. So I think it used to uncloak me, but now it's not doing that. I would still use the feather first, then Spectral Guise. I can't do it right now, but okay. So that is Angelic Feather. I really like that. The next tier change was Power Word Solace. Power Word Solace was changed to include a basically it takes the place of Holy Fire. So if you're a Disc Priest, which I am Spec Disc right now, your damage, and it replaces Holy Fire, and it interacts just like Holy Fire would. It actually heals via Atonement. So with this on, and of course with the glyphs, this is the traditional glyphs that a lot of Disc Priests were running with, which is the the penance glyph, holy fire glyph, and the smite glyph. Now the holy fire glyph, all it does is it doesn't make it instant, it just increases the range. So I don't think the holy fire glyph is going to be mandatory anymore. On certain fights where there is a range issue, perhaps like Garelon, where you know you can't get real close and you have to stand back, or players that are going to be spread out really far and you want to be able to, well, this wouldn't be for players, but if you know that there's enemies spread out, you might want to increase the range. Otherwise, I'm not sure I would waste the glyph space on that. So my power word solace has a 40-yard range. So, you know, I'll kind of start off with the normal rotation, starting off with the penance, then a power word solace, smite, and I do 4 of these. And then back to penance, and then as soon as that's done, power word solace is off cooldown. So I can do 4 of these. Penance, power word solace, and you can see the mana bar doesn't go down as much as it used to. And you can see my DPS is about unbuffed. I don't even have, I'm not sure why I don't, but I'll put inner fire up. It was 23 something K DPS, I'll just do it with inner fire up. Give a better impression of, if you're atonement healing, you're gonna be using inner fire. And optionally, you may use Shadow Word Pain, or you may not want to waste the mana on it. So like 23.3 or 4k DPS. Alright, so that's power word solace, and it changes holy fire. It still puts a power word solace ticking damage buff, just like holy fire, but it's called power word solace. So if you track things via weak auras or power auras or whatever, and it's based on holy fire, you have to change everything out for power word solace. Okay, so next change, there really aren't too many other changes in here. Divine Star a long time ago was given extra healing and damage, and I've been using that a little bit more lately, but Divine Star can be very buggy, so I keep on this PTR account, I keep it talented because I keep testing it to see if they fix the problems with it. Anyway, alright, so into the good stuff, the new stuff. Binding Heal. So there's new glyphs. The actual glyph of, I'm not sure which glyph they changed. They changed one of the glyphs to Binding Heal. So now there's a Binding Heal glyph. Your Binding Heal spell now heals a third nearby friendly target, but costs 35% more. That's actually a lot. So Binding Heal right now costs 16.2k mana, the way I'm set up right now. So if I glyph this, oh, well, and of course I need Tomes of Clear Mind. So if I add the glyph of Binding Heal, alright, 35% more mana, it goes up to 21.87k, 21,870, which is pretty expensive. Way more expensive than Power Word Shield, although that was just changed. Greater Heal 17, Binding Heal is 21, 17. You know, let's look at Divine Hymn. Or Divine Star. I don't have Divine Hymn because I'm on my Disc Priest. So, it's pretty darn expensive. Penance, which was increased, is only 11.1. So this is clearly going to be your most expensive spell that you would cast if you glyph this. And they reduced the healing on Binding Heal by about 30%. That was to offset Shadow Priests. But there is there's an additional passive that was added. Used to be in here on the last 5.2 public test realm patch. It was in here. Anyway, okay, so really expensive, but there's nobody here now. Absolutely nobody.
Hey there.
So in order to demonstrate it healing 3 targets.
How are you? Hello. Hey there.
So it healed. Basically, from testing this, the way the wording is on the glyph, it says your Binding Heal spell now heals a third nearby friendly target, but costs 35% more mana. And I was wondering, okay, so third nearby friendly target from who I'm targeting or from myself? It's actually definitely, from testing this out, who you're targeting. It's near, it'll always pick the target closest to your target. So as you can see, it's healing me, it's healing my target, and it's healing a nearby target. Depending on, let's pick this person. But you can see the mana goes down a lot when I use this. In fact, if I use this several times in an emergency to heal, you can see the mana bar just go way down. You know, down to 50%. So you're not going to be doing this a lot. It would have been really nice if this was not quite so expensive. I'm not sure what value it has being so expensive. It's almost like a beacon for holy pallies, so that a priest healer can actually heal a tank and an off tank, or do a heal that heals 2 targets. It actually probably would have been personally a better glyph if it had said, instead of it healing your Binding Heal spell, now heals a friendly target, a friendly nearby target, rather than yourself, and keep the mana cost the same, and just leave it like that. So you could choose whether you wanted to heal somebody else and yourself, or 2 other targets. But no, nobody ever sees it my way. Alright, so the other new glyph is the, what is the other glyph? Weakened Soul. All the way at the bottom, of course. Weakened Soul reduces the duration of the Weakened Soul effect caused by Power Word Shield by 2 seconds. So right now, if I shield myself, it starts at 14 seconds and counts down to 0. Weakened Soul. But if I use the glyph, do it one more time, so you can see 14. So if I use the glyph, it'll start out more at 12. 12 to 0. 13 seconds instead of 15 seconds. Is that really worth it? Well, so I can't shield. Okay, now I can shield. So I'm not sure if this is what we've been needing all along, but it's a additional shield. So now the other change that was made was our power word shield. The mana cost was reduced. So power word shield, the mana cost was reduced originally by 50%, but that was too OP. So now it's 25%. So mana cost reduced by 25%, but the absorb is increased by about 40%. So now the weird thing is, if you look at the tooltip here, if you can see it, draws on the soul of the friendly target, absorbing 1,200 or 1,022,380 damage. That is not what it says when I actually cast it. I actually almost hit the floor when I saw that. I was like, wow, 122k for power word shield. But then you cast it and go up here and it says 85,580. One of them's right and one of them isn't. I'm not sure which is right. This may be right, because this doesn't look like a whole lot more. It certainly doesn't look like 40% more. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm not sure if maybe the tooltip was changed, but the actual spell isn't doing 40% more. But when I cast it, it's clearly saying 85, and I would have to have somebody else damage me to look in my logs. Actually, let's just see if it showed. It's not showing power word shield. Interesting. So it's not even showing up in logs. Well, that's great. So now penance is showing up. Binding heal is showing up. So I guess an interesting thing would be binding heal is a 40-yard range. Let me put this somewhere. 40 yards. So I can go to just within 40 yards of this person and reach for people that I can't reach. So if I click on that person, I can't heal them, out of range. But I can heal this person, then reach out to that person. Through my very non-scientific testing, I can tell you that how nearby the nearby target needs to be for binding heal to heal the nearby target is, it seems like it works, it's at least 20 yards. It seems like it's at least 20 yards. Could be 15. It's definitely not 40. So if it were 40, then you could be 40 yards away from this person, and then the other target 40 yards away and reach 80 yards. But that's not the case. I think that they have to be within 20 yards of each other.
Hello.
It's a triangle of healing using binding heal. Oh, here we go. Here's a guy. You can see how far away he can get before he gets healed. So this guy's going to get healed. Healing these Master Wood. So he's getting healed. The Stormwind City Patrollers walking away. Still getting healed. Still getting healed. Still getting healed. Still getting healed. Nope, not getting healed. So, what is this?
Hello.
Is it right about in here? What do I have that's... Unfortunately, prayer of mending is 20 yards, but it's on the jump. So whatever that is, it's about, I think it's 20 yards. the binding heal reach.
Need help?
Alright, let's spirit shell again. And what is wrong with my flash heal? I can't flash heal. One 77791. I don't know where the cap was on that because my flash heal. Oh, not enough mana. Wait a minute. Not enough mana. Something wrong there. Oh, now I have enough mana. It clearly said not enough mana, and I was full mana. Weird, what is going on with that? Let me try that again with my flash heal. This time I'll target myself and use keybind. And I'll use inner fire. Alright, flash heal. Not enough mana? What is wrong? I can't flash heal. Oh my gosh, flash heal is 8 million mana. 8.3 million mana. Here, let me greater heal myself. During Spirit Shell increases the mana cost of your flash heal by 8 million. That's certainly a bug. I'm gonna have to report that one. Alright, report bug. That better not go live. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Oh, I'll just spirit shell you and flash heal you. Crap. The interesting thing is, spirit shell is supposed to reduce the mana cost of flash heal, but I read that it was going to reduce the cost of flash heal, but I don't see it anywhere. Alright, so I'm not going to. I'm going to target myself. I'm going to cast Spirit Shell. I'm going to cast Greater Heal. Yeah, definitely Flash Heal is increasing in mana cost every time Spirit Shell goes up. Wow, look, 21 million mana. What was it? 249. 249. So I'm not really sure that the cap is any different. It's probably how much casts I had to do to get to the cap. Before I could reach the cap with much fewer casts of heals. Certainly Prayer of Healing with a guaranteed crit is now 57, but without the guaranteed crit from Inner Focus, 28. Could you imagine going into a raid and trying to cast a slow cast that heals for 28k and doesn't have any guarantee of doing Divine Aegis? Look, there's no crits here. I'm not getting any Divine Aegis. I'm spending all this mana getting 28k heals. Now if I just cast heal on myself, 34. It's a Prayer of Healing is alright, so heal will at least stack Grace. 44 at 3 stacks. Prayer of Healing. Here goes Inner Focus. There's a crit 74 with a 56k Divine Aegis absorb. 74 again. 111. There's really no, you can really only guarantee a crit once and that's it. And it's going to fall off because I can no longer keep Divine Aegis going. And it's gone. So a lot more less efficient healing coming from Prayer of Healing. And it's a tiny heal. Tiny. I can't see it continuing. And And this flash heal bug with spirit shell is a little frustrating. So, cast greater heal on myself. It went to 115.9, 231.9, 249.9. That was the third cast. 249. And then for some reason flash heal goes to 20 million, 20.5 million mana. And it says not enough mana. Alright, so there's the changes. I hope you enjoyed this review of the changes. The only other change I would bring up is in holy form. Finally, Guardian Spirit baseline castable while stunned. That is going to revolutionize not PvP as a holy priest, because that's what holy priests have needed all along. No, they should have made this default immune to silence thing for inner focus, which doesn't seem to work. Doesn't say any immunity. Used to before. Alright, that's it. That's enough over and out.